Health story next, which could affect any of us, and it affects our next guest, Junaid Ahmed. He visited his local hospital. Junaid had a slight temperature. He expected it to be diagnosed with flu, but things took a turn for the worse when he collapsed.
Well, Junaid then woke up 6 weeks later in intensive care after being diagnosed with sepsis, which is blood poisoning, and it meant that he had to have his leg and his arm amputated.
So we're talking about the dangers of sepsis, what to look out for, what it can do, and Junaid is trying to raise 100,000 quid in research with all of this for a bionic arm so that he can actually hug his children again. And he joins us here in the studio this morning. I can't hug you, I can't shake your hand, Junaid. How are you doing?
Well,
how are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Surviving. I'm here.
When was all of this?
So this took place most of last year. So happened around May, June time of 2022.
Gosh, coming up to a year ago.
Yeah, about a year ago. So I've been home about 4 months now.
Yeah.
So listen, you're a completely healthy father, active man, and what would you describe then as a slight temperature? What are we talking, and what were your other symptoms?
Yeah, so slight temperature, above 38, 39 degrees Fahrenheit, is that right? Yeah, so 38, 39.
Celsius,
and sepsis, yeah, and then also loss of breath, feeling a bit dizzy,
could
nausea.
Have been COVID, couldn't it?
Yeah, could have been COVID as well. So yeah, I went into hospital thinking nothing of it. And it turned out to, unfortunately, to be sepsis, and also another disease they call HLH, which is a very rare disease, mostly seen in kids, but it turned out I had HLH and sepsis.
Yeah. Diagnosis, and the right diagnosis is the important thing.
Absolutely.
Sepsis used to be known more commonly as blood poisoning.
Correct.
So could you have done anything to prevent it?
No, I mean, it's really down to how you treat it at the time. They tried their hardest at the hospital I was in, but it was the fact that I had that HLH alongside the sepsis.
Yes.
Because sepsis is the blood infection where the immune system almost attacks your own tissues and organs in your body, but then HLH is a deficiency of the immune system as well. So two of those together, hand in hand, caused all of this to happen, unfortunately.
The horrible thing about sepsis is the speed, isn't it? And we've interviewed people in the past who put their children to bed with a temperature and they're dead in the morning. You're lucky to be alive, but of course you've suffered a huge loss in terms of your arm and your leg. Just talk us through what it's like to wake up in intensive care, having collapsed in A&E and be told that. Devastating.
Yeah, no. I think the best way to describe it is confused. I woke up not knowing what happened, why I was there, because when I woke up out of that induced coma, I was like a vegetable, so I couldn't move my fingers or my arms. So it took about 2-3 months just to get me to be able to move my shoulders and my arms, which everyone can see on my social media page. And yeah, it was just a case of trying to figure out what was going on around me, and I was angry and upset at the same time.
Yeah. Football. What football shirt's that? I can't see it in that distance. A United man.
I'm a United.
Even give this man more time.
Let's not talk about Saturday.
Saturday was awful, wasn't it?
But is that your son?
We're talking about a very, very important thing there.
No, we're not, Eamon.
So the child, I presume you didn't give him a choice as to who he would support.
No, I gave him a choice. I just said to him, I'll disown him if he chooses anyone else.
I pointed mine to an orphanage and said, do you know what that is?
Yeah.
And I explained to them how it would happen. However, my friend, we're now at a situation, you want to hug that boy again, you want to be around your children. What are we going to do? That was then. This is the problem you've got. We can see no left arm now from your shoulder or elbow.
I lost it above the elbow, and I guess that was another heartbreaking thing, is they were trying to figure out if they're going to amputate below elbow or above elbow.
Right.
But the fact that it's above elbow, it's the same with legs. Anything you buy in terms of prosthetic arms above elbow is going to be more expensive because you need that shoulder bend. So,
have you seen one of these things?
I've seen a few about, I've started doing a bit of shopping, but I've only been out of hospital for 4 months now.
Yeah.
So I need to wait for all this to come down in terms of it's a little bit inflamed and things. So hence the reason why I'm starting this journey now, trying to raise money, trying to raise awareness at the same time.
How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that?
Well, I've got a few ideas, Eamon. I was thinking to do maybe a row And everyone said to me, you can't do a row because you'll be going round in circles.
Yes. You could be a comedian, yeah. You could do.
But that's what I've got the energy, and that's why everyone loves
What did you do before all of this? What was your job?
Recruitment, and I still do recruitment.
You can still do that.
Yeah, I still do that, working from home.
But tell us, how old are your kids, and what would it mean to you and to them to be able to put your arms around them and give them a big
absolutely. So, I mean, my 9-year-old, as you mentioned him, and he's a United fan. He plays a lot of football. Wants me to be in goal, even if that arms means saving a ball and the arm flying off. It's a case of getting in goal. And the little one, I mean, he's 2.5, nearly 3. So he's always like, Daddy, pick. So it'll be a case of I can't pick him up with one arm at the moment. He's got a way of getting into the wheelchair with one arm, but picking up with another arm will allow me to pick up my little one again as well.
Look, I'm glad you still have a smile about what's ahead of you. We hope that you can achieve what you're after. You need to raise that £100,000 for the bionic arm. You want to hug your kids, and we wish you all the very best. If we can be of help, come back here and talk about it and whatever.
Just tell us.